Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing an easy, everyday fall makeup tutorial. And today, it's not necessarily like drugstore or high-end. I'm going to use a combo of both kinds of products because this is really just about the concept more than it is the product specifically, and you'll see why as we go through. This is an extremely easy kind of look that you can do no matter what products you're using, and I feel like it's really appropriate for fall. When it comes to an easy, everyday fall look, I tend to go towards more of a bold lip and just keeping everything else simple. So that's what we're gonna do today. This is the before and after, so you guys can see what we're getting into. I'm super excited. Let's get right into it. I've already filled in my brows, and today I used the Benefit Precisely My Brow, and this is in the shade 3.5. And then to make these more hair-like strokes in this inner corner here, I have been loving for months now the MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint, and I use the shade Spiked. So that's all we've got going on right now. I did put a moisturizer on after washing my face this morning, but even though I have moisturizer on, I am going to go in with a hydrating primer. I've been kind of testing this out. I've been super into Laura Mercier primers. I've talked about the Radiance primer several times on my channel, and so I thought that I would try out the hydrating one, and I've been using it for the past week or so, and I feel like it's a really nice product. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of this and just apply it on top of my moisturizer. My skin gets so dry during the fall and winter, and so I've been really leaning towards much more hydrating products on the skin. But sometimes it's hard because I love a full coverage matte base a lot of the times. In fall especially, I just feel like it's really long lasting and all that. So sometimes it's hard to find a good combination for my skin, and I tend to kind of use more hydrating primers underneath if I'm going to use a matte long wear foundation. The combo of the two works really well for my skin in drier months, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. Oh, I painted my nails the other day. I finally used Yzma from Kale Polish, and it's such a unique color. Like, it looks black in some lights, but then you see the purple in other lights. It's really cool. All right, so for foundation today, I thought I would pull out a foundation I haven't used in a minute, but I really do love this one. It's a drugstore foundation. It is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation, and I'm in the shade L90. I'm gonna give this a shake. Put some on the back of my hand, and then I want to use a brush. I love this foundation brush. I love this one and the It Cosmetics one. The It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe complexion brush is so good, but this is the Tarte Smoothie Blender foundation brush. I always forget. Every time I try to tell you guys about it, I forget what it's called. It will be linked down below if you guys are interested, but I'm just going to go ahead and start to apply this right over top of the primer, all over the skin, and I love the coverage that this gives. It has a matte finish. It's very long wearing. It doesn't like settle into my fine lines. It's a beautiful foundation, and I actually haven't tried it with this exact hydrating primer before, but right now it seems to be gliding over it really nicely, and I'm liking the finish that it gives. I'm making sure to bring the foundation down the neck so that we don't have a line right here along the jaw. That's a dead giveaway that you're wearing foundation if you've got this streak across your jawline, so be sure to blend it down the neck. Alright, so now that I have a pretty good even distribution of the foundation all over the skin, I'm going to go ahead and take my Thrive Cosmetics sponge with what's left on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to go ahead and press the foundation into the skin a little bit more. This is just seriously my favorite way to apply any foundation because I love the brush for distributing it evenly, and then the sponge gives a better finish in my opinion, so I love to do both. So keeping with the full coverage matte base, I feel like this concealer is going to be perfect. I'm going to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser Concealer, and let's see, I'm going to use the shade Fair under the eyes and down the center of the face, just for a little subtle highlight. And then there are some blemishes I do want to conceal more, so I like to take a darker shade. I just use the shade Light, and I'm going to kind of dab this on any areas that I want a little more coverage. And then I go ahead and blend out the blemish concealer first with just the same sponge that we used for foundation. And then I go ahead and blend out the center of the face concealer as well as the under eye area. Alright, so for powder, this is a powder that I haven't shown you guys yet on my channel. It's very new to me, but I wanted to use it in this tutorial to show you how beautiful it is. I actually received this powder in PR right before we went out of town, and I didn't even like unbox it on my Instagram story. I just opened a couple boxes right before we left, and I wanted to kind of take some on the road with me, the ones that interested me. And so I ended up bringing the Lawless Loose Setting Powder. Look how beautiful this box is, by the way. Hello. I wanted to show you the box. Obviously, clearly I've used it. There's fingerprints on the cap now, but this is just the classic translucent powder. They have 3 shades of this powder, and I feel like I might want to pick up the brightening version of this and just see how that works because because I've been loving this. So let's see. The cool thing about this powder, you guys, is it's talc free, it's lightweight, it's vegan, it doesn't have any bad ingredients in it. That's kind of the point of Lawless products. It's a clean makeup brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this underneath the eye area, as well as all over the rest of the face. I'm gonna go ahead and set half of the face so you guys can kind of see the difference. I feel like this has a really beautiful finish. It's more smoothing than the Laura Mercier translucent powder in my opinion. It kind of has a similar blurring effect as the Thrive powder I've been using a lot, but it's tinted yellow. The Thrive one is more of just a basic white powder. This one looks more like the Laura Mercier, which is why I'm kind of comparing it to that as well. I'm not sure how well you can see this on camera, but I feel like it really smooths out and blurs my face. I've been really into it and I've been using it every day since I tried it. So I wanted to show you guys this powder in this tutorial because I'm very into it. And it's not drying either. It doesn't look cakey. It makes your makeup last all day. I'm just really into it. It really impressed me. So to warm up the complexion, I'm going to bring out an old favorite. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. You can just use whatever you've been loving. I've just missed this one. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and start to warm up the complexion using this bronzer. I'm going to pinch the brush and run that down the sides of the nose. And I'm going to put a little under the lip as well. Goodness, it's been a long time since I've used this and I love it. I forgot how good it is. I mean, obviously I love it, but it's been a while since I've used this bronzer. It is such a good one. I feel like I'm trying so many products all the time that sometimes these amazing ones kind of fall back in the back of my drawer, and I'm glad I'm using it again today because I have missed it. It's so beautiful. Also, I feel like this bronzer is a little bit pricey for a drugstore product in a way. Like a lot of my friends always tell me like, oh, I haven't tried the Physicians Formula one yet because it was like 15 bucks or whatever. But I have used this exact one so much and it's still not gone. I feel like it's worth every single penny. So if you've been like that, if you've been on the fence for a while and you've never tried this bronzer, you definitely should. It's so worth it. I've gotten such good use out of this bronzer. So for blush, I wanted something really neutral, and my favorite blush for when I don't want to look like I'm wearing blush, but I love blush, and I don't want it to overpower the rest of my makeup, I always reach for this one. I've talked about this several times, but I wanted to use it again. It's the Bare Minerals Beige for Days blush. It's so good. It looks pretty like brown in the pan. When you apply it, there is a little bit of a peachy hue to it, but it really doesn't do anything crazy to the skin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Sigma Spotlight Duster brush and just go ahead and apply this to the apples of the cheeks. It is so good. Oh, I love this. And I feel like over top of that bronzer especially, it just blends in to the bronzer beautifully, but there's enough of a difference in tone where it does look like a blush and a bronzer. Does that make sense? But it all looks like one at the same time. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that's just kind of how I feel about this combo. Well, it looks like I forgot to bring a highlighter over here, so I'm just gonna use one that I have lying around. Ooh, I haven't used this on camera yet. This is the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder. This is the Highlight 01. This is a product that I have been dying to try for so long, and during the most recent Sephora VIB sale, I ended up picking it up. But I don't think I've used it in a tutorial yet, and I've only used it like a couple times off camera as well, so let's use this. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and take some of that on my highlighting brush, and I'm going to apply this to the high points of the face, so around the eyebrow right here in kind of like a C shape. I feel like this works really well for my skin tone. It blends in really nicely, but then when the light hits it, you can definitely see the highlight there. I'm also going to apply some down the center of the nose on the Cupid's bow, and I'm going to bring it underneath the brow here as well. That's pretty. All right. For the eyes, you guys know I like to use bronzer on my eyes, and I thought for this tutorial, something that's really easy for fall is just using a bunch of matte eyeshadows. There's a lot of matte eyeshadows that I love, but I wanted to use the Milani Most Loved Matte palette because it's all matte and there's so many different varieties of mattes in this. Like you can totally just go down row by row and create a look. I wanted to use this one today because I'm really just inspired by this for fall. So let's get into this palette. I'm going to go ahead and take the lightest shade in the palette, which is called Fancy Vanilla, and I'm going to apply this all over the lid just to kind of lock down the concealer and to create a nice base. Next, I'm going to go into this shade over here, which is called You're a Peach. It looks really light in the pan, but once you apply it on the eyes, it's actually a beautiful peach transition. So I just want a little bit of this in the crease area and a little bit above, just for some subtle dimension there. And I'm going from this inner corner here all the way to the end of the brow. And while I'm using this color, I'm also going to go ahead and run this across the lower lash line, just with that same brush. Since it's so light, I don't really care about using a bigger brush. I think it will look good at the end regardless. I'm gonna dip into this shade right here, which is called Busta Mauve. mauve, whatever you want to call it. And I think I'm just going to start to apply this on the lid. You guys know I've been into purple eyeshadows, so for an everyday look, why not go with a matte purple? So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this all over the lid up to the crease. And I'm going to take that same brush with the same color, and I'm just going to run this across the lower lash line as well. Next, I'm going to go into this shade right here called No Plum Intended. Really cute names. I love this. I'm just going to tap off the extra and then add this to the outer third of that top lid. And I'm blending it into the crease on the outer third here and then a little bit inward. And I'm just building it up until I get the intensity that I want. I want this to obviously like show up and be kind of intense, but because I'm going to do more of a lip, I think I'm just going to leave it with just these colors. I'm pinching the brush and adding that color to the outer third of the lower lash line as well. If I wanted to do a nude lip though, I would definitely go into this deeper shade and really smoke it out and make it more of an eye look, but I just kind of want a little bit more of a soft purple look on the eyelids so that we can wear something a little bit more bold on the lips. I'm just taking the powder brush and brushing away any fallout underneath the eyes. Next, I'm going to apply mascara. I've been loving really bold, voluminous lashes, and this has been my go-to, the Hourglass Extreme Lash Caution Mascara, I think it's called. I really love this for a bold lash moment. It's been a go-to, so I'm just going to use this today. I love what mascara can do. I mean, come on. It's probably one of my favorite steps in makeup. Alright, so now that I've got mascara on, I just wanted to let you know that you could totally do the same kind of idea with transition shade and something on the lid and something on the outer corner with any of these shades. You wouldn't have to do purple if you don't want to. I'm just choosing that today because there's some lip colors that I'm kind of wanting to wear. So I actually grabbed several lipsticks. Okay, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Let me wipe off the foundation on the lips first. So I kind of picked out some lipsticks that I was maybe interested in wearing today. Again, there are so many options out there. I actually did do a video talking about some of my favorite affordable fall lipsticks, so I'll link that down below if you guys are interested in checking out some of my top recommendations for fall. I grabbed a couple and I'm kind of wanting to see which one. I'm kind of into this one. This is from Too Faced. It's called Why Not? This one's a little lighter, which would go beautifully with this eye look, but for fall, I feel like I might go a little deeper. Also a more kind of red. You could really do any kind of lip color when your eyes are very simple like this, so also a gloss would work too. These are from M Cosmetics and they are so pretty. Maybe I'll show you guys a gloss and then we'll do a more bold lip so you can see how this can be versatile. This is in the shade Ash Rose. So that color is so pretty if you want to do something a little bit more subtle. If you use purples on the eyes like I did today, I think this is beautiful. Again, for me, for fall, a bold lip really does something, and so I'm going to show you what a bolder option looks like. I'm going to line the lips first. I'm going to go into the Thrive Cosmetics Lip Filler Lip Liner in the shade Devon. I'm just lining and filling in the lips with this. I'm not sure if it's an exact match for color, but I just kind of want a good guideline. All right, let's go into the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Why Not? So I actually really love this lip color. I'm not sure if it matches my shirt very well, but you know, we're just gonna go with it. Okay, so let's assess the situation. I'm really liking how the complexion looks. I'm just gonna add a little more bronzer up by the forehead. I always do that. I don't know why. Once I like add lipstick, I just feel like there needs to be more balance sometimes up by the forehead. Going back into the Beige for Days blush, I just want a little more towards the inner part of the cheek. I usually use whatever highlighter I'm using on the high points of the face in the inner corner. I'm gonna try something different. I'm just gonna use the matte highlight, or the lightest shade, I guess, in this Milani palette called Fancy Vanilla again. And just tap off the extra. I kind of want to see what that looks like to have more of a matte inner corner highlight. I mean, but I do feel like I want just a tiny bit of highlight, shimmery highlight, I guess, in the very inner corners. So I will just layer that right on top of the matte highlight. All right, so I feel like I like how everything looks, so we're gonna go ahead and lock it in. I'm gonna first smooth out the face with the Smashbox Primer Water. This is the Centering Citrus Scent. I'm gonna take my fan and just press it into the skin really lightly with my sponge. And then of course I'm going to lock it in even more with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I love this stuff. Same thing with the sponge and the fan. And then as always, I'm just going to take some of my Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder, and I'm going to go ahead and set my smile lines even more, as well as the T-zone, so that it doesn't get oily throughout the day. I'm just going to brush up the brows to make sure that they still look decent. I'm just filling in any sparse areas that need filling. And then I'm going to go ahead and lock it in with the L'Oreal Brow Boost and Set Volumizing Brow Mascara, and this is the clear one. So I'm just going to go ahead and brush that through the brows. So that completes this look, you guys. This is a super easy look that looks very bold and looks like you tried really hard and took a lot of time. It takes no time at all. A bold lip really does kind of spice up the look for fall. Oh my gosh, that was a cute little saying, spice up the look for fall. Anyway, again, you guys, just take inspiration from this. I just really wanted to share with you kind of the idea of like a good go-to everyday fall look. All the colors could totally switch out. If you like wearing more warm tones, use a good matte warm tone shadow on the eyes, pair it with a more kind of reddish, warmer tone lip, and it would be like the same idea, just a little bit of different tones. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I definitely like how it turned out. I personally love purples right now, like I've been saying in like every video, so I really like how this look turned out. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Allie and I love makeup. I would love to have you on board. Go ahead and click the subscribe button if you want to join the family. After you subscribed, if you guys want to be a part of the notification squad, you can go ahead and click on the bell after you subscribe. And that'll just mean you'll be notified every single time I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Thank you guys for always coming back to my channel and for watching my videos. You have no idea how much it means to me. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.